So why would a person want to introduce problems to the use of decision cases or constructive controversies in the class? It may cause or create some challenges for instructors in the classroom, and it certainly requires a certain amount of creative problem solving yourself in dealing with some of the questions that may arise from the students about the controversy or problem that you're presenting. So why do we want to do it? It's first, it emulates the environment of working professionals. I've already shared this with you, but I like to share this point with the students. Tell them that this is a current issue, this is a current problem, this is a current case study, and this is the environment that they're going to work in as biologists. Tell them this so that they don't have the question of why do we need to learn this information. Second of all, it enhances their abilities to gather and analyze data to support their discussion points. A collection of data is a big part of the problem-solving process, and having them learn where to get those data, how to analyze them, will be, again, another good professional skills for them to develop prior to becoming practitioners. It builds their critical thinking skills, helps them integrate concepts and other important critical professional skills. It provides them opportunities to defend positions. Do the students really understand concepts well enough to teach and convince them to others? So this requires a higher level of mastery of material than some of the maybe lower level Bloom's taxonomy question or levels, such as defining or describing things. It really forces them to see how what concepts are, but apply them in meaningful ways. So this is really where it comes down to the higher level of achievement. If they can explain it, if they can convince other people of the information, oftentimes with examples, then perhaps they'll know how to apply it in future years. And last but not least, for those of you who teach early in the morning, I happen to be a morning person and like teaching early in the morning, but it can certainly stimulate student involvement with some active learning to get the class going for an 8 a.m. class. The other thing I like to share with students in terms of actually why are we using problems in class? Why am I presenting these challenging controversies to my class as opposed to me just lecturing from a day-to-day, we have to think about who's going to hire them. What do employers really want? And so this is just a few examples of some potential work that's been done by people in terms of the type of professional skills that employers want. So federal and state agencies, work that's been published. They want lifelong learners, people with good analytical and synthesis skills. The National Science Foundation published a report back in '96 that surveyed some employers of undergraduates in sciences, and these three were overwhelmingly the three top picks as people with critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills. It's not that disciplinary content knowledge wasn't important, but by the time people got interviewed and offered positions, these were the things that they were really looking for. And then last but not least, a very informal survey with some colleagues of mine. This was the list of things that emerged on the types of attributes or characteristics that employers wanted: communication skills, competency, problem-solving skills, and certainly a strong work ethic. So before you start developing your decision case or controversies, and I do have a worksheet for you that's attached to the MOOC material that will help you plan your decision case or controversies. We really want to step back and think about what are your teaching and learning objectives for the class, because like any pedagogical technique, we have to first start with your objectives, as was presented in the assessment part of this MOOC, so that we can better align what our assessment techniques were and what kind of decision cases or controversies we might want to provide. and for you to reflect on, are controversies or decision cases really the best way for us to meet these teaching and learning objectives?